So today I want to go over the ratings of this. At the bottom of the Amazon page, there are ratings listed for each feature. Each feature has a rating. I'm going to go through each and every one to see if the rating should be higher or lower. First up, easy to assemble. This is as easy as can get. It comes in the box like this. All you gotta do is take the tank out and you just basically unscrew the top right here, fill it with water, and you put it back and it's good to go. No assembly required basically. So even though it is a high mark at 4.5, I'm gonna bump that up to a 4.7 because what else do you need to do? Next is ease to use. So this one is a little bit tricky because this is the off button. It doesn't really say that it's off, but it is off. And the only way you know that it's on, when you kind of turn it, you see there is a little light down there, which in most circumstances is pretty hard to notice, which is good because this won't show up while you're sleeping, so you won't be bothered by lights. But for everyday usage, unless I can only know this is on if this is either this way or this way. There's no other indicator. So it's a little bit confusing, but in terms of ease to use, like I said before, fill up the water tank, turn it on, and it's on. But one other thing is, because this is a kind of hot steam humidifier, it does take a while for it to heat up the water before it can be turned into mist. And just now, it's starting to release steam just now, and it took around maybe 20 seconds maybe. So sometimes when you turn it off and on, you won't really notice a difference because when it is on, it still needs time to prep. So that's why I can get the rating for the ease of use at being 4.2 because I do think that it deserves that mark, so I'll leave it there. Next is noise level. I don't know if you can hear, this is about the noise you should be expecting, and this is a noise right up against it. And although this is not too loud, for humidifiers, this is on the high range in terms of noise. This is not going to bother you while you're sleeping, but it is not quite either, so that's why I get the 4.0 rating, which I gotta stay at 4.0. Next is the quality materials. I think this whole thing, because it is quite cheap, it is made of complete plastic. I don't feel any parts that are metal or anything. And to test that out, I'll scratch each surface to see how durable they are. I don't know if you can notice, I scratched it, but I don't really see it. It is a little bit hard to notice, but I scratched right there. As you can see, you can still see the scratch marks, but only at the exact correct lighting. Scratch right here. And I gotta say, this is probably the most durable part because no matter whichever lighting I see, I don't see the scratches at all. And this one, I scratched right here. As you can see, you can definitely see that mark. But also, if you kind of tilt away, you can't really see anymore. So all of the marks I tried, they did leave a mark except for this thing right here. But under regular lighting, you're not gonna notice it. And even though I've had this for years, it still looks pretty good. So I would say thumbs up for that. So I gotta bump this up to maybe like a 4.0 rating or in terms of quality of materials. Next, we'll go over to the easy to clean. So I'll disassemble this for you. You just take off this tank and you twist this off to kind of put water in. And if you want to clean it, put water in, wash it around, and that's all you can really do because obviously you can't get your hands in there and that's all you really got. And for this part, there's water in here, so you just pour it out. And then you can use a paper towel, you can rinse it off, you can do whatever you need because this is pretty easy to clean. But this is where it is a little bit finicky. You take the cap off right here, you just pull it out. There it is, you can wash it like that. And this whole thing comes out from over here. As you can see, there's a screw in that thing, so that thing is not supposed to come out. You basically pull this back so this part comes out. Then once that is back enough, that thing clips off. You pull it off and you can wash this whole thing in here. And for this part, you just basically wipe this down and there you go. So because of that, and because of the whole process, it's a little bit finicky, it's not completely straightforward, I would agree with a 3.0 rating for the cleaning because this is a little bit too much effort for my taste. Lastly, we have the durability, and obviously when I went over it with the scissors, it basically showed what is capable of this machine, which is not much, but I've had this for years and I gotta say it's held up, it hasn't broken down, hasn't chipped, hasn't scratched. Well, it has scratched, but that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's a humidifier, I don't need it to look great. I need it to do its job, and it's been doing its job for years with no issue. So although yes, it is not durable in the sense that it's resistant to scratches, but it's durable in the sense that it did its job of humidifying my air for years without an issue. So I gotta I gotta bump the score up from 3.7 to a maybe 4. So overall, even though a lot of these ratings have mostly been on point, a little bit below average, I gotta say, at the end of the day, this has done its job for years without really much of an issue. There are some perks that I would like, which is the auto steam feature. I can turn off and on like the other humidifier that I have. But overall, if you need something cheap, if you need something to do its job for a long time, this is your go-to.